This will be an absolute game changer for you or anyone in this situation. If you're sitting on some cash and you don't have a job, you haven't been on your job that long, or maybe you're in between jobs, you can still get a mortgage. Let me explain. A lot of people are sitting on cash. They may be sitting on $200,000 or $300,000. 401k, regardless of where the money is, you can still get a mortgage. You don't have to spend that cash. Most people don't want to because it sets you up for a financial trap. And then there's other people out there thinking, Wayne, how in the world could I possibly get a mortgage? I don't have a job, but I have cash in the bank. Until now. You see, this lending program not only allows you to keep your cash, you don't need much cash to put down. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the process, how it's done, the houses you can buy. I'm going to walk you through this house and show you an example of a home that you can purchase. This house is $292,000, and how you could buy a house just like this. I'm going to show you inside and out for literally as little as about $13,000 total without touching any of your money and get a mortgage. So listen, grab a pen and a piece of paper. You're going to want to write these down. You see, the way this works is pretty simple, but the best way I can explain it is just to kind of give you some numbers and an example. Let's say you have $250,000 sitting in the bank, or it can be in crypto. It could be in your 401k. It can be a cash asset. So they take $250,000, they're going to divide that by 37, as though you were going to absolutely pull a draw for 37 months. Now, 37 into 250, that's $6,756 a month. They use that as your monthly income. Now, if you have any monthly obligations like credit cards, car payments, student loans, whatever it may be, they have to deduct that out of it, that minimum monthly payment. Most people are sitting on $250,000 cash, don't have any debt whatsoever, unless, of course, say you bought a car with 0% interest and you're paying that $300. Regardless, they look at your gross income based on $6,756 less the items that you pay. But let's just say hypothetically you don't have any debt. You are based on $6,756 a month because you have $250,000 sitting in the bank. You can buy a house like this. It's $293,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath that needs absolutely nothing. So let's take a look inside and let's talk some more. Now, full disclosure, I am not a lender, but I've been in the real estate business for 30 years. My name's Wayne Turner. I bought, flipped, sold, owned real estate brokerages. I've done just about everything. I share that with you so you can have the confidence knowing that what you learn from me is from actual real life experience. So as I walk you through this house, you can see it's absolutely spotless. Excuse the chirping. They need new batteries in the smoke detectors. But open kitchen, open living room, big tall ceilings, crown mold, beautiful house. Now, what's exciting about this loan program is that you can get an FHA loan. You can get a conventional loan. If you want to do conventional loan and put 5% down, you can use that, some of your cash, and then still get qualified based on the money that you have left, whatever that money may be. Now, here's what you have to wrap your head around, and you can do this yourself, just like I said. If you have $100,000 cash in the bank, divide that by 37, and that's going to show you what your gross income is. Now, keep in mind, the rule of thumb that most lenders use is about 32 to 34% of that number, that gross monthly number, can go towards your mortgage payment. So you can look and see, okay, well, Wayne, that only leaves me with $700 a month or $800 a month. Well, that's about a $100,000 house. And that may not be something that you can afford in an area you want to live. And that's why I always tell people, sometimes you just may have to move out into an area that's maybe growing and maybe not be in the suburbs, because in order to get a house like I did on my very first house, I had to move out to an area that I wasn't even born and raised in. But in doing so, I lived in the house 5 years and I made a profit. Now, this is a single family house, but I'm going to talk to you here in just a few minutes about other stuff that you can buy, because it doesn't have to be a single family home. It can be a condo, among other things, and I'll talk to a little bit about an investment property, which is cool. Big, beautiful kitchen. This house is just a few years old. It's a split floor plan. It's got 2 bedrooms over there, the full bath, and then some really cool features here. Check out this pantry. I mean, $293,000. This home is in Madisonville, Louisiana. Walk-in pantry, solid shelves. I'm going to show you the damage to this house that I've seen that is minimum. This is the main bedroom. Look at this bath. Double vanity. There's one tub, shower. That's just sexy right there. Look at that. See what I mean? So houses like this, you can purchase. This is the closet. Now, I just came through the main bedroom closet. Look at this. I'm in the utility room. There's a pocket door. I love pocket doors. Listen, if you're going to build a house, put them 10-foot ceilings, don't do 8. Put in pocket doors, love pocket doors. I just love these doors, really nice. Here's the damage I was talking about. That's the only thing I see wrong with this house is that right there. That just comes from the doorknob. Always get a home inspection. Doesn't really matter what house you're buying or how you're buying it. But let's jump into some more stuff, more about that loan that will interest you. Now, profits are always good, and the next thing I want to talk to you about is, I said FHA, but when you get an FHA loan to buy a house like this, you only need 3.5% to put down. So the seller can actually pay your closing cost for you, which never exceed more than 3.5%. Don't need more than 3.5%. Lenders will argue with me all day long. At the end of the day, 3.5% pretty much covers it unless you're just in a crazy flood zone or you just have crazy exuberant amounts of insurance. But at the end of the day, the house that you're buying is relative and connected with the insurance rate. So anyway, enough about that. You only need 3.5% to put down to buy a house like this with your cash. Now, another question that I want you to ask, and I'm going to tell you the answer. I know what you're probably thinking is, Wayne, what does my credit score have to be? Well, your credit score has to be a minimum of 600. And this is what I always tell people, even if you're sitting on some cash, focus on your credit, because it doesn't matter any type of loan. It doesn't, if it's VA, you got to have 580. If it's FHA, you're looking at 620, USDA 620. If you're going to get a conventional loan, it's a little bit higher than that. If you do literally like a bank statement loan where you're going to put 20% down and you're a business owner, I've talked about that, you're going to need a credit score of at least 660, right? So the good rule of thumb, I always tell people, unless you're a veteran, you need to be over 600 for your credit score. So focus on that. Take monies that you have, do everything within your possible means to pay down any debt that you have to get your credit score cranking up. Now listen to me here. You bought a house, you didn't pull your money out, but now you got a mortgage payment, right? So what happens is they want you to put the money in the trust, and that runs anywhere from $400 to $600. And here's what I mean by that. A trust, basically, it says that that's money, that's your money, and you're the only person that's allowed to spend and take that money. It protects your money, if you will. That way it's in a revocable trust. That means you can move and change it and shift some things around, but you are the beneficiary. So once you put that in a trust, you're the beneficiary, and you're showing the lender that I can take the money that I have that maybe is drawing interest, and you can pay the monthly payment with that. Now, it's not just a single family home. I'm talking about, what about a condo? What about if you're looking to retire? What if you're like, you know what? I always wanted to live here. I always wanted to buy a place here. I always wanted to move to the beach, but I got cash, but I don't want to rent. You can actually get a loan with the cash in your bank and move somewhere like Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where you can go down there and buy a condo for $200,000 just walking distance to the beach. Now, another example of this would be, let's just say you're drawing Social Security. Let's just say that you got a settlement. Let's just say that you retired, and instead of taking cash retirement, you want to do payments, but you just watch this video and go, whoa, 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 let's don't do payments. Just give me my cash so I can talk with a lender about getting a mortgage. And we're going to put some links in here. As I said, I'm not a mortgage lender. You can contact any lender that you want. We give you links to lenders. You can go to contactwayne.com. contactwayne.com. I'll put it here somewhere across the screen. You can literally write it down, click on it. That's my website. We can connect you with a lender, connect you with a leading professional real estate broker, just as myself, in any area you want to sell or buy a house in. I tell everybody, if you can hear my voice and see my face, I can help you buy a home. But it's not just single family homes. There's more to this. So here's where it gets better, and it gets me real excited. So think about this. This is a situation, true story. A lady had some cash in the bank. Well, she had cash in the bank and she didn't want to buy a single family home. She said, well, can I buy an investment property? Absolutely. Duplex, triplex, quadruplex. So guess what? Now your money is sitting in the bank, untouched, drawing interest. It can be in a bank, it can be a CD, crypto, doesn't really matter. It can be in the stock market, drawing 8, 9%, doesn't really matter. The mortgage you're going to get, it may be 6, 7%. Really, truly depends on what kind of loan program, how much you're putting down, and what's your credit score. What's really exciting is your money can be drawing interest. Of course, you got to pay the monthly payment, right? So you got to pull money from somewhere to pay that payment. But you also have to look at, if you bought an investment property, a duplex, triplex, quadruplex, you can live in one side and rent the others out. And literally what you're renting for in profit more than pays your mortgage. So now you've bought a place you own, it's going up in value, it's gaining equity, your money's in the bank, and it's drawing interest. And if you ask me, that's a win-win. If you agree, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. Most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Now, a couple of things that you really should take into consideration is one, when you're buying a house, especially if you're over the age of 50 and you're purchasing a house this way, or any house, doesn't really matter. My advice, anybody over 50, put that house on a 15-year term. If anybody you can put it on a 15-year term, put it on a 15-year term. If you buy a house and you're 25, you don't understand how much more you're going to be paying off towards the principal balance and less towards interest. And I know it may be $300 more a month, but you have to look at your budget. You should have a budget, what's coming in, what's going out, and always ask your lender, hey, what would that payment be, just for curiosity, on a 15-year as opposed to a 30? I can't emphasize enough, you can pay so much more down, even if you just do minimum down payment with a USDA, we only need $1,000 out of pocket, or USDA or FHA. The point I'm trying to make is you always want to look at putting it on a 15, but there's more to it than that. If you're over the age of 50, or even if you're a first-time home buyer, you should look into new homes. And the reason why I say that is because you purchase a house if it's new. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of older homes out there that are in immaculate condition. But the big ticket items, if you purchase a house that's 20 years old, you always have to consider, well, that roof. Now, you can buy a house, you can get them to give you an allowance. But if you're a first-time home buyer, or if you're looking to retire, you're in your 50s, 55, you can put it on a 15-year note, you can buy a newer house, maybe 5 years or newer. That allows you to not have to worry about any maintenance, no water heaters, no roofs, no central heat and air, anything like that for many, many years. So listen, I'm Wayne Turner. I hope you've liked this video. Give me a like, thumbs up. I know that a lot of you are watching on TV. Believe it or not, here's an interesting statistic. 51% of the people, and you may be one of those, if so, give me a thumbs up. 51% of the people that are watching these videos watch on your TV. So it makes it really hard to leave a comment, but you can hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, we won't come knocking on your door. We're not going to send you anything. We certainly don't sell your information. Give us a thumbs up. It lets me get more of the information out. Nobody pays me to do this. I'm just a big believer in you learn something, you master it, and you teach it. And for me, that's just God's way. Until next time, thank you for watching, and may God bless you.